You have just entered the Tampa Business Spotlight. This podcast is dedicated to anyone who wants to hear how local business owners and entrepreneurs got their start and what drives them to do what they do each and every day. Who am I? My name is Nick Sakkis. I was born and raised in Tampa. I'm completely obsessed with real estate and building businesses. I'll be your host for the next 30 minutes while we interview the best local business owners and entrepreneurs in Tampa Bay. Stay tuned.
This call is being recorded.
All right, everybody in Tampa Bay, welcome to the Tampa Business Spotlight. Today I have a very special guest on the show. His name is Trey Connor, and he is the chef and sole owner of Trey of Gourmet catering services. Recently, he is introducing a brand new Italian red sauce to the market, and I'm excited to have him on the show and talk a little bit about it. So welcome, Trey Connor.
How you doing, Nick? It's great to be
buddy,
on.
Good. You excited?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's roll.
Awesome. So we'll dive into the sauce king of Tampa Bay here. But first, just introduce yourself a little bit to everybody. Tell us about kind of where you grew up, how you grew up, what schools you went to, and kind of what took you along this path.
Well, I was born in Atlanta, and I came to Tampa, and I went to Coleman and then Plant High School. And I actually started cooking sauce for friends in Plant, and everybody loved it. And I just kind of had it in the back of my mind, and I went to culinary school and really focused on that aspect of it. And I was like, I should really jar this and get it rolling. And I also worked at Moonfish in Orlando when I was in culinary school, and after culinary school I went to Cafe Punt, and I worked there for 2 years and really honed my skills and learned a lot of things. Then I went to Key West, and I worked at Outback and learned kind of the systems and managerial aspects of the restaurant business and cooked my sauce down there. People loved it, and they were like, hey, they were telling me what I already knew. You need to jar this, and I did. So
that's how it kind of starts, right? You have a tremendous product, and then you kind of get the nudge from everyone around you, like, hey, man, why aren't you, making money on this on its own? So that's cool. But tell me, so that's interesting. You were already cooking this, I guess, base foundation sauce in Plant High School. You went to culinary school. You worked for a bunch of different restaurants. Would you say that the main formula is the same since high school, or have you kind of tweaked it along the way?
I tweaked it like a lot. Like it was very subpar at Plant, and I feel like as I would learn new ingredients, I've also spent some time in Italy and learned about all kinds of just the thing about the Italian dish is the simplicity of it. You get a tomato, and it's got to be the best tomato, and I took out things and added a few things, and it just kind of made it the best I could and then went to production with it.
So anybody who's known you for a while, I guess in high school when they said this sauce is awesome, have they since tried the 2016 version to know how much better it is?
I actually don't think so, but I would implore people to do that. That'd
be a really cool kind of a testimonial from the beginning to now. And that kind of rolls into my next question for you. We talk about how many different businesses there are in the industry, and really what sets you apart is your individual spin. So what's different between your sauce and the entire row of sauces, say, at any grocery store that we would ever go to?
Mine's made with 100% San Marzano tomatoes, which is from Napoli. If you look on labels, you can find San Marzano sauce, but it's labeled as pizza sauce, and it's one of the healthiest options out there. Like very, very low sodium. I put just a dash of sugar in it to sweeten it up a touch, but that's it.
Yeah, that's interesting. In the Greek culture, we actually put a little bit of cinnamon in our red sauce, and not too many people know that, but you definitely have to have something, a little distinct feature in there to sweeten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that, the fresh take on everything. Obviously, people are very consumed and want the freshest possible ingredients. For you, going to outsourcing, to Napa, you said, to get the tomatoes themselves, that's awesome. I mean, I can't see any better than that. And so talking about what inspired you, I guess we kind of touched on that just a little bit, where you went down to the Keys and you had people kind of nudging you to jar this sauce, but what has really inspired you to take it over the edge? Like, there's a lot of people that just talk about, I had this idea, but I never did anything with it, or are very passive. What really brought you to the other side and said, I'm just going to go ahead and do this and draw a line in the sand and be inspired?
Well, it was the 2016, I think, was my like, I'm going to get this done because I've been wanting to do it for so long. That was the line in the sand. I'm like, this is going to be done this year. And I started it. I got, what I did was I went to other sauce companies and I couldn't quite get it right. And, the pH level was too high and all that jazz. But I found the right one over in Clearwater and they took care of me. And it's been great ever since, like, making the dream alive.
Yeah, so drawing that line in the sand, and that kind of leads. Obviously, you have the Trey of Gourmet catering service. So you've already been cooking for a while, individual meals for customers on the Italian side, adding the red sauce and jarring that, as you say. Just, it definitely makes sense. So for you as a business owner, obviously you have the catering side of things. Now you want to kind of blend that into being the sauce king of Tampa Bay. What are your future plans for the brand? And tell me a little bit about where you're planning to go next.
Well, I would like to start off with the sauce, get a few more, like do a spicy one, a few more flavors out there, and then really grow it to.
Right now it's one flavor.
It's one. It's just a regular, the classic style sauce. And then, I want to do like a spicy one. And I was looking at trying to maybe do a pesto, depending on how, because sometimes, pesto is not cooked, but you have to cook it for the jar. So I'm going to see how that works out. But really get the sauce out there. So I already have customers and a fan base. So when I want to open up a restaurant or something, then I'll already have a built-in market. And what I'm going to do is it's going to be an Italian restaurant, and I'm going to use the sauce with the dishes. So it all kind of combines.
No, that definitely makes a lot of sense. So as far as we talked about future, we talked about kind of how you grew up a little bit. Is there anything, if you could go back, say you went to culinary school, you went to all these different restaurants and worked, is there anything, if you could go back, say, to the beginning and do differently, do you think you'd take a different path? Would you work at different restaurants? Would you not go to culinary school? Is there anything that you would have done differently from, say, 10 years ago up until this point?
No. The only thing that I would have done differently is started it earlier.
So instead of drawing that line in the sand in this year, it would have been, say, 5 years ago?
It would have been, yes.
It's that little bit of fear, right, that you just don't know whether it's the right thing or not, and then you cross that.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden you're like,
and then you hear it from the 100th friend or the 100th family member, and it's like, it's got to get done.
Yeah.
So that's
about
what
time, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
So,
I love that story. And it seems to be consistent with a lot of people that I talk to, right? It's just, once you get over that edge, man, you look back and you're like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
so coming up to...
You can control your own destiny.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up to the last question here before we'll let you go, one of my favorite questions, because I do like to listen to books all the time, whether I'm in the car, working out, or whatever. I always like to ask my guests what their favorite business book recommendation is, and there's a lot of value to be had in reading books. There's no sense in recreating something that someone else has already done. So do you have a favorite book, and if so, what is it, and how did it inspire you?
Well, as a man thinketh, to get your mind right, you got to, whatever goes in your mind is put out in the universe, so to speak. And this book by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall, is phenomenal. Like, the way he was brought up and just his story was very inspiring. Goals, he would just mark them off, kind of thing. It was really like exciting to read, and I actually listened to it, but it was very, very impressive. So I would recommend both of those books. And I'm a avid reader, and there's a laundry list of other ones, but those are the two ones that I would pick out as my favorites.
I like it. So you're into very into mindset.
Yeah,
I'm too, definitely. There's different, a little bit of motivation. But getting your mind right, I can absolutely agree, is 100%, focus key. You have to have your mind right to do anything good in this world. So I can definitely agree with that. Well, Trey, man, do you have anything else that you want to talk to your sphere, anybody who might listen to this, anything we didn't touch on, any events or anything you have coming up that you might want people to join, and then go into how anybody can get a hold of you, your website, maybe phone number or anything like that?
My website is A Trey, Trey, of Gourmet.com. Phone number is 813-480-2400. Call me if you have any catering or sauce needs, and I would like to ask you if you would like to buy some sauce. Because
hey, we'll be.
I'm always pitching, right?
Yeah, I love it. I definitely want to try it for sure, man. You gotta, whether we meet up or you ship me a bottle, we'll definitely have to get it together.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, Trey, man, it was great to have you on. I hope that this helps you out in your endeavor. I wish you the best of luck. And anybody who needs a personalized meal, some catering, obviously Trey specializes in Italian cooking, so if that's your thing, give him a call, shout out. And me and Trey are actually going to get together and maybe bring a coupon, hopefully something for this sauce where we can have you guys take advantage of a special Sakkis Group coupon to contact Trey with and get some of this sauce going. So, Trey, man, again, I really appreciate your time and wish you the best of luck, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.